Well, what we are talking about today is so important that we have two people covering it, Jill Belland and Mike Yawney, out together exploring the world of molecular gastronomy. And you guys, I happen to love this stuff.
Oh yeah, this is really interesting. And it looks like what Mike is making here, Tara, is a science experiment. Not the case. All edible.
Can you believe I'm playing with liquid nitrogen? That's amazing.
Liquid nitrogen. We're both kind of standing back because this could actually explode in any second. Technically, yes. Says Josh. We're here live at Q Haute Cuisine this morning, learning all about molecular gastronomy. So first things first, what is molecular gastronomy?
So molecular gastronomy, it's really a new style of cooking, and it's something that's relatively new to Calgary as well. And it's cooking with special extracts that we can take away from plants and sort of organic matter. Some things like what we see here. We have this powder on the table. This is made with a tapioca product called maltodextrin, which is a very fine powder that can suck oil into it.
Okay.
So it's essentially just oil in the powder. When it touches your tongue, that powder melts away and releases the oil flavor. What we have in the sort of the tin right to the side, with the red, I guess, liquid there, is a process called spherification, where we can take a special salt away from brown algae called sodium alginate, mix it into a puree of anything. Whether it's apricots, in this case it looks like grapes, it could be red beet, anything like that. And then you put that into basically a mold, freeze it a little bit, dunk that into basically a water bath with calcium chloride, and essentially you're making a skin on the outside. So when it thaws out in the end, it's like a bubble. Yeah. And this bubble you can pop in your mouth, you can pop it on the plate to add to sauce. It's really just another way of presentation.
Another way of experiencing food, and it is beet, by the way. I tried one earlier.
Okay, wonderful.
I tried one. It was really interesting.
So this seems to be something we're seeing a lot more of in Calgary.
Yes, and it's a way for chefs to show their creativity, and well, especially when you're doing things on this sort of fine dining scale, its presentation is almost the most important thing. So to just to throw a bunch of sauce on a plate is one thing. To have it as a sphere that a customer can pop themselves is really another way for them to have another memory here.
Absolutely. So, yeah, and totally a dining experience on the next level, I would say. So now, where do you learn something like this? Do you go to school specifically to learn molecular gastronomy?
I wouldn't say specifically, although I'm sure that you can somewhere in the world. I'm sure this is one of the things they're teaching at SAIT, and one of our chefs can answer that question a bit more in depth later on. One of our chefs went to SAIT, the other ones they went to school in London, they went to school in Manitoba, or over in Europe. So I think it's really, our chef is teaching them out of his passion. Yeah. And you can learn a lot from books, of course. There was a restaurant in Spain called El Bulli, which was sort of the founding concept behind molecular gastronomy. The whole world kind of took away from that, and we brought it here to Calgary, and well,
here we are.
Yeah, here we are.
Here we are live this morning. No explosions so far, Mike.
No,
that's a good sign.
This was supposed to be an ice cube, a pure ice cube with no air, no nothing, but I did not do it right, as you can see. It's pretty cloudy. But he warned me, Josh warned me, it could blow up if I don't do it properly, so I was a little bit leery.
A little bit cautious. One can see why.
May I suggest safety glasses for the next segment?
Actually, the ice cubes,
right?
They're really interesting.
Yeah. Maybe.
Good idea. Safety first, kids.
We're going to check in with Jill Belland, Mike Yawney, dynamic duo this morning, hanging out at Q Haute Cuisine, talking molecular cooking.
This is like an insane science experiment here. I don't know what we got into this morning.
We're getting into some science. Well, that's what it requires to pull all these things together, but really interesting molecular gastronomy. Sean is going to navigate the world of spheres, foams, and air. All of these things on the menu here at Q Haute Cuisine. Let's talk about spheres here, Sean, and what are we seeing?
All right, so here what I have is a little bit of beet puree that we've infused with a little bit of calcium, and we've dropped it into a sodium alginate solution.
Okay.
Sodium alginate is a sodium compound powder that's derived from brown seaweeds such as kelp. And what happens is that as the calcium and the sodium alginate react, they sort of encapsulate our puree. Okay. So we're creating the structure of a sphere here. So we're destructuring our product and then bringing it back together as a sphere.
Can I make one?
Yes, of course,
okay.
of course.
So we take the spoon here, and this is the beet puree. Oh, wrong spoon.
Yeah, no worries. So you just want to take that one there, dip it into the puree, and slowly try to drop it into the solution. So you can submerge the spoon. That's the best way to get the sphere.
Submerge it?
Yep.
My steady coffee hand.
Shouldn't have had that last coffee. And then you can just sort of pull the spoon back out.
Sticky.
And then
How am I
that's going
doing?
to drop right in
Oh,
there.
I see.
And that's how you get that sphere shape.
Okay.
This one's been cooking for about 2 minutes here, and then these we've cooked for about the last 10 to 15 minutes. And these will be just about ready to come out. They should have a nice skin on them right now.
Those are perfect spheres.
So will they naturally form a perfect sphere on their own? Because that one kind of looks like an amoeba or something.
Yes.
Sorry, no offense.
Well, no, of course.
Okay.
The longer
My first sphere.
The longer they cook, the more resilient the sphere itself gets. So I'm just going to move this over here.
Okay.
And then we just submerge it into a marinade, which allows it to fully structure. But as you'll see here, the ones that we've just done, this I've cooked for about 2 minutes. As you pull it out, you see that sphere shape start to form.
That is really neat.
So the longer you let it sit, the stronger that cell wall becomes.
Can we try one of these?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Actually, I can just show you guys sort of how the plate comes together, and then we can try it all.
Okay.
As
Because
it goes
would this be
together.
more of a garnish?
This is a component.
A component.
A very small component of a small dish. So we use this a lot for our palate cleansers. And what I have here is sort of foam. We have a yogurt foam here. It's infused with a little bit of lemon. And this just all really comes together nicely on the dish.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna-
absolutely. I'll step back here as you plate this up. Lots of steps involved in molecular gastronomy.
This is foams. We have a thickened yogurt, and we've just pressurized it using an ISI canister. So an ISI canister sort of performs the same function as, say, a whipped cream canister at Starbucks or something.
Okay,
We've all seen them somewhere.
Okay, now good things take time. We're going to plate this up, and we'll show this off in the next segment and do some digging in too.
wait to try this.
Yeah, Tara.
Yum. I happen to like molecular gastronomy.
I've never tried it.
It's really cool.
I want to try it though. Erica and I are actually really itching to try it.
Field trip.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say. People don't do that. Well, I guess Andy does that.
There you go. Andy just did it. I don't. Mike and Jill, you guys didn't see it. Andrew's cutting his own hair in studio today.
Oh, well done.
Yeah.
Yes, there are. I have a trick to show you guys. Watch this, okay? See here, liquid nitrogen, bare hand, watch.
Whoa!
Whoa,
Isn't
he's
that
a
crazy?
daredevil.
Apparently, I've been told if I hold it in there, my hand will shatter like Terminator.
Oh.
But if I do it really quick,
Okay, so don't do that.
ta-da, it's like
Even
a
for
magic
TV.
trick.
The Schwarzenegger factor we have going on here this morning. But there is a purpose for this, and it's dessert.
That's right, liquid nitrogen. We're making dessert with liquid nitrogen, and Dean, pastry chef here at Q Haute Cuisine. This has got to be one of the most impressive things you can bring out to show the customers.
Yeah, there's a big wow factor for it involved with everybody. Just the visual effect of the plate itself, but also it gives them a chance to participate in the creation of it, the creativity. They get to sort of reassemble the deconstruction that we've begun for them. So for them, it's a little bit of a hands-on experience. Really nice.
So what are we making here?
This plate is, we like to refer to it as collisions of chocolate or explosions of chocolate. It's a lot of different flavors and textures, different molecular gastronomy taking place there. There's spherification, there's chocolate powders, there's spicy chocolate brioche, which is prepared in the ISI canisters using microwave technologies. So a few different ganaches and spreads. And the final product is prepared tableside for our guests using the liquid nitrogen.
Okay,
We're
Mike
gonna make the final part here, okay?
Mike is going to take care of the liquid nitrogen here. So this is essentially like a flash frozen ice cream.
Yeah, in a sense, what we do is prepare in a spuma using cream, flavor it with chocolate and any flavors you choose. It's compressed with CO2, so it gives it that nice fluffy, light whipped cream texture. So what he's doing now is using the ladle. It acts as a mold. He's filling it up with that soft mousse.
Yeah.
And once he drops it inside the nitrogen, it just releases from the spoon. We want to give it about 12 to 15 seconds to cook before we prepare it to finish the plate.
You can feel the cold coming off this.
That's
Nice
right. Yeah.
skills. All right. So this is a delicate process. You did great, Mike. Good job.
Am I hired?
You might take my job, I'm afraid, right now. actually.
How safe is it to consume something like this?
Well, nitrogen is actually, it's in the air we breathe, right? It's about 78% of the makeup of the oxygen that we breathe. So it's controlled at a liquid state from the degrees of 320 Fahrenheit to 346. And it's quite all right to enjoy eating this stuff.
Now do I break it open?
Yeah, use your spoon sideways, give it a nice crack.
Go for it.
There you go.
Okay, Jill got the beets, I get this one. Okay? Only fair, right?
I think I got the short end of the stick here with the vegetables, but they were pretty delicious.
Like,
Oh, and
did
it
you see
actually,
that?
Exactly.
you can see her breath.
The frost came out of my mouth. That is
That's
delicious.
fresh, right?
That is really fresh.
Perfect.
We might be sharing this plate, and my last question is, does this come in extra large? Because those are small bites of chocolate.
I'm with Joe. This is how I like breakfast television. Food heavy. We are talking about molecular gastronomy this morning at Q Haute Cuisine. Mike and Jill together. What are you guys working on now?
Well, we're working on cooking meat underwater, Tara. Is this a process you've ever heard of?
Is it sous vide?
It is.
Smart. Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding. You are a winner. You get some lamb
I had to pry
that we're going to
myself away
prepare.
from the chocolate.
I know,
to
the
meat.
chocolate is pretty fun. So this is really interesting, and we're navigating the world of molecular gastronomy here at Q Haute Cuisine. Paul is going to help us here with the cooking of the meat. So tell us about this process.
Well, it's basically a water bath with a thermocirculator. So this is a thermometer. It's a heating element, and it circulates the water to keep the bath at an even temperature.
So this is a lengthy process.
Yes, it can take up to 3-4 days to cook some things. I mean, this particular item, it takes us 2 days to cook to get to 140.
Okay, there's some preparation involved, and Mike's going to help you out with that. So what is Mike going to do?
He's just going to put some meat glue on here.
What is meat glue?
It's a living enzyme, basically, that bonds protein.
Okay, so this is a natural substance.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So what is the purpose of using the enzyme?
To bond the proteins together so I can roll it and I end up with a perfect roast. So I don't want to serve it flat, I want to serve a nice round medallion. Keep going. Yeah.
Got it.
More glue.
You need
Cracking the whip.
1% of this to the meat.
Okay, now you can prepare all kinds of meats this way, right?
Yes, all sorts of different, any proteins can be bonded with this. And this particular method can be used for vegetables, fruits, soups, anything you want. It's very versatile.
And you're essentially setting the temperature of the water to the temperature you want the meat to arrive at.
Exactly, yes. So like this particular item, we want it at 140. So I set it to 140 for 2 days. And that's how long it takes to arrive at 140.
So I got to ask, why the meat glue? What you're going to show us what you're going to do with
I'll
this,
show you.
right? Okay.
So I want it rolled like this.
Tight roll.
And then once it's cooked, it's going to be perfectly round. And then
So-
I can cut medallions. So it's for portioning purposes.
So it almost comes out like a roast.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
what
Gotcha.
is the purpose? What is the benefit of preparing meat this way? How does it taste?
How does it taste? It melts in your mouth. It's delicious. I mean, when you're cooking with conventional methods, you're cooking at a higher temperature than you want to. So your meat's going to be overcooked on the outside and then cooked on the inside. With this particular method, the whole roast is going to be perfect all the way through.
So this is something you can actually do at home because I've seen these in stores.
Absolutely, yeah. It's great for cooking at home. It takes a little bit more preparation than turning on an oven, but it's a great method. It's healthy. It's not as doesn't overcook like an oven does. So yeah, I think it's a perfect method for a home cook.
I barely know how to turn on an oven, so that's why we come here. Can we try some?
Easier than turning on an oven. You just press one button.
All right. Can we try some? You've got some lamb that's prepared there, and how long has this been cooking for?
This has been cooking for 48 hours. So this is already portioned. I've just put some seasoning and some butter in there. I'm going to take it out. Dry it off a little bit. Sean?
Oh, I can smell it as soon as you open the bag.
Yeah, it smells wonderful. Okay, we're going to prepare this. We're out of time, but we'll be sampling this. And then the anti-griddle is what we're going to be showing off next, Tara.
My eyes are like saucers. I can't even tell you. You promised me lamb. I'm counting on lamb when you guys get back to the studio.
Yeah. Gadget Guy meets Jill Belland in the kitchen of Q Haute Cuisine. All kinds of fun stuff this morning, guys.
Oh, so many fun things here at Q Haute Cuisine, and we are live in the kitchen. We're talking about now the anti-griddle with a beverage pairing. So yes, science meets food, and initially I think we came into this, Mike, you the scientist and myself the foodie, but I'm becoming a fan of science, especially when the food is so delicious. So first things first, Dean, tell us about the anti-griddle and what this is used for.
All right, the anti-griddle is a flat surface using direct temperature to prepare foods, usually sweets. We use it for alcohol. Sometimes we incorporate it into those ingredients. Operates at minus 40 degrees Celsius.
Okay.
So what we use it for a lot of times is tours and to just to sort of give our guests a little bit of an extra experience.
Yeah.
Today I prepared a few different items. We have lollipops made with apricot and amaretto puree, little clouds of creme chantilly, which we add different textures into at the same time using different purees and whipped creams.
So Dean, you put these on just a couple minutes ago. It doesn't take long to cool at all.
Yeah, no, certainly. It's already almost frozen all the way through. So depending on your desired particular how you'd like it to be finished, you can choose to flip it earlier or later. So we're working with different textures again is what we're looking for.
Sorry, this would be used for dessert, or what would you use these?
Yeah, this is a dessert, like a pre-dessert or an amuse-bouche for a sweet tooth. In the case of the clouds, what we have is whipped cream. It's creme chantilly. So that's whipped cream flavored with vanilla bean, sweetened with sugar. And we can then take our apricot amaretto puree and insert it right inside. I can tell you right now it's frozen about 3/4 of the way through. So what we like to do at this point is just get underneath and flip each one over. Now we're left with our different textures. We have frozen tops, frozen bottoms, and that helps to enclose the apricot and amaretto inside.
Now, Dean, you were mentioning this is often paired with a beverage for dessert, and Josh, you want to show me how to make. What are we making here?
Yeah, so this is one of our famous cocktails here. I guess it's called Midwest, usually on the rocks. In this case, we're using it as a martini style.
So walk me through this.
Yeah, sure. So on the left-hand side there, we have just a sort of a black tea. This is in particular from India.
How much in here?
Just 1 ounce. So you have the shot glass to measure there if you like.
Okay.
And then
Quickly pour the
next
ounce.
up, we have Maker's Mark bourbon that we infused with smoke using the smoking gun that you see just behind the amaretto here. So it'll be 1 ounce of that.
The smoke. You can see the smoke come out there. There we go.
And then 1 ounce of the amaretto as well.
I'm just going to free pour this.
Yeah, sure thing.
Go for
1,
it.
2.
That looks good.
Oh, I spilled. I'm fired. That's it.
Then you're going to mix it up a little bit just to cool down the. Yep. And the idea behind this is you want to do beverage pairings with, well, more than one point of interest. Essentially, we have, in a traditional sense, black tea is used a lot with marmalade. Apricot flavor can match up with that.
Well, Jill and I, we're out of time, but
yeah.
Jill and I think we're going to hang out and have some dessert.
We're going to stay. We'll be right here, guys.
Okay.